Good morning, everyone, and I hope you're all well. Lovely sunshine and warm wherever you are. It's well, welcome to my channel. I'm back today to share my design team project for November for KS4U, and it's my first project of the month. So yes, I'm glad how it turned out. Nothing spectacular. So this is what I have made. I have made a pouch for the little journal book inside. It's a miniature one that I made the cover out of a biscuit box. So, and it is inspired by Laura Bourgeois, who is a friend of mine, a very lovely, beautiful friend. So that is what I have made. And I'll tell you about the pouch. Excuse me. This is getting this ticklish cough because of my acid reflux. Excuse me. Right, so this is my little book. And I have to say, I love how it turned out, and it is so cute. So, right, first of all, I printed this gorgeous image on fabric, and it is one of my absolute favorite images, I have to say. And then, first of all, I covered the biscuit box. I cut it to size because it's a bit longer than that, so I cut it to size, and then I cover. Let's show you. So I cover the box with plain off-white fabric, and then I cover on top of it these beautiful lace that I got from my November kit, and that's that. Okay, this fabric I just love using them to cover book covers, pages, or making any project, because this is a beautiful wide one, and I love the scallop edge. So you can see the scallop edge peeping out from underneath, or underneath there and there. So that is the base of my little cover. And then what I did, I went around this side of the image with another of the DT this November kit, which is a lovely trim, because it's mostly trims that I've got for my kit, aside from this fabric lace. Oh, excuse me, it's cold here today. So that is what I have. I will show you what I have left if I can find it. Okay, so that is the trim that I have. So I went around this side, and then this side I went around with another. I'm trying to find it all. If I can't, I'm just have to go ahead without showing you. Okay, I found this one. So it is this one here. I love this. So that's what I went. So it kind of hang down the side of the page. And then this one here is from previous projects, previous kits. I have mixed some items from previous kits, okay, and everything just worked well. And this is another one of my favorite. Just have to see if I got any left. because it's all in the back. Oh, yeah, here we go. And this is this, okay? This is another one of my favorite. So this is gorgeous. So what I did, I just trim off this little band, connected, whatever, this little band there, and snipped off these little connectors as well, and then I just put it underneath there, the bottom image. So that is how I did the frame. And then this is one of the flowers that I've got from the pack as well, from my kit. I don't know if, you know, you can go back to my previous channel, my video, and see what I got from the kit. And I just can't find it. I know it's there. It's a pack of about 4 or 5 of these lovely pink flowers, okay? And it's got a little flat back pearl or something in the center. So what I did, so I used this another trim that is also from the kit. I tied a little bow under this gorgeous bow bling that I got from the kit. At the back is a little loop, so I just tie this bow, this trim underneath, and I also went over with a bit of my diamante trim. That is my own stash. I just like the way it trailed down, because it just, you know, matches perfectly with this bow. So I just added a bit more of bling for my stash. So that is that. I just love this bow. And then at the top here, I added this lovely filigree metal butterfly that I also got in my kit. So I just add that, so it kind of balances off all this beautiful bling. And the spine is one of my own newest appliques. I immediately just knew that it matches this perfectly, so I put that on the spine, and I didn't have to do anything else. It's in by Diamante, and these 3D flowers, and then this silver thread, and it just go perfectly with the image. And that was the spine. And then the back here, I stamped an image. This stamp was so kindly gifted to me by Kathleen Alcala. So I was so lost for words and choked when I saw that. So that is a stamp, and so I just stamp it on fabric and glue it on. And then you can see here's another piece of this beautiful stretchy trim that I put underneath. I should have some left because there was a lot of it in it. I'm just looking. Here we go. This is what it is. I just think this is really nice. It's got some bugle beads and some sequin, and it's stretchy. So that is what I use for the bottom as a bit of overhang dangly. And then the edge here again, so I use the same trim as this one, and overhang again the edge of the trim. And for the closure, I use this trim. So the trims that I got in the kit are great for edges and closure and dangles and whatnot. So that is what I use. And then at the end of the closure, the trim, I added some flowers, which is from previous kit. I love these flowers. It come in a long trim, and you just snip the flower off. And the back here, I added a little bit of flower, applique flower. So that is my closure. Okay, so let's put all this mess away. Right, so my inside. Okay, there we go. I have lined the inside again with that lovely fabric. This fabric, I just love using this to cover. I just love it. So that is the inside, and I use this lovely flower trim as well, which is also from the kit. There we go. That you can cut it out individually. You can cut it out as I did here, as on the edge. And this is another one of my favorite trims. So I put it on the edge, all hanging, overhanging, so I get a bit of a dangle. So this one I use again, which is what I told you previously. It's stretchy, so I use that as a pocket. And then this is the flowers I was saying in the front, a pack of 4 or 5, and I just love it. So it got a hint of pink to go with the image. So that's all this book is, a bit of it's white and pink and silver. So here's a pocket, and what I made was a little tag. This is a paper tag I found somewhere in my stash, and just again you can see I've used this same fabric. I laid it over, then I put this frame die cut on top, and then I stuck this vellum vintage lady over this sitting on a swing. So that is what I have used. So this is like vintage ladies little book, and there you go. You can see I have used this as the top, this lovely flower trim, which is the same as this one here. And then I have this lovely bow from my stash hanging there, and then I use this lovely lattice trim. I love netted things like that. So do finish off on the edge of this tag. So that goes in the pocket here. So I stamped this on fabric. It's this lovely vintage lady. I happen to have the stamps for this, a set of stamps of this vintage lady. I stamped it on fabric, and I put it on the page. And I also use hidden spine, which is also covered with this fabric. And at the edge, here's a little dangle of a flower, which I cut off from this trim. That's why the trim is, there's many ways of using. You can snip off some flowers and then just use that little bit, and it looks like a pair of wings. So so don't see a trim as just a trim or lace. There are ways. So I use that flowers that hang on this bow pin as a little dangle, and there's a couple of little seed bits there. So that is that. And then so I use all handmade mulberry paper. I wet the edges and tore them, so I get all these lovely fray edges, which I have distressed. And there's a little bit more of that applique that I've used for my stash. I stamp a little vintage chair there. So that is that. And then this is more handmade mulberry papers that I have. And I didn't do anything because it's got lovely, lovely embossing texture on it. And I use some deco edge scissors for that. So there, shall I say, here is a pocket. I made a pocket out of this last piece of trim that I've got from my last kit. I need more, please, Julie. And then at the back here is a lovely cloth stamp, and it's got some like a bouquet of flowers. You can. I love that stamp. And then I just kind of make a little button card with some in a sepia toned ephemera. So that goes in there, and these are like little vintage mother of pearl buttons as well. So that trim is perfect for a little corner pocket. And here I've used that edge, the trim for the edge, and I stamped some vintage perfume bottles and a little stamp there, and there's a little vintage bonnet stamp on there. And here is the pocket out of last kit again, and it's like a crochet, or maybe not last kit. I think I bought it from the KS4U. So it's from my stash, but from KS4U. So I have, now I am looking for my tag. Where have I, yeah, let me go pick it, fell down. So I make a little fabric tag, and this is a lovely trim that I got from my last DT project, DT kit. Like I said, I've mixed all these kits because all these lasers, because you can use them, mix and match, and then is wording, and I stamped this vintage perfume bottle on the fabric. Again, you can see I use this beautiful lace here, applique for the tab, and I went around again with the trim, and this one here that I snipped off from a trim as well. I believe that was from previous kit. So that is a little fabric tag that I made for this little pocket. Fold this, go in there. Right, some more of this beautiful embossed powder paper. And this is a crochet trim from the shop as well, from KS4U. So all these little small trims are just perfect for your journal pages, the edges. The little stamp, Paris, and then there's a little music paper, a piano paper, I beg your pardon. And there's a little perfume bottle stamp that I stamp on. And there you go. And this is, again, is that lovely flower trim. I just use it as a tab, and I hang a little bit of applique and a little flowers there. So it's that. And as you can see, I've got this trim again at the edge. So that's that page, and a little lovely vintage hat there. And then this is a vellum roses that I stuck on. I just love vellum. And there's the vintage lady, vellum vintage lady, looking down at the little doggy. So I stuck that on. And then it's a little Paris ephemera I stuck on there. And this is the piano paper as well. So here again, this page, I got this crochet trim and a little bit of this petal. I just stuck a bow there. I believe these are for my stash. And here I made a little envelope, so cute. And inside just some little bits of ephemeras that I put in there. And so cute. Some little trims and snippet I just put on there. Some snippets all from the from all the kits I had. I just cut off little snippet and just add it on, and I just added a little bit of a bling on there. And then I use a little shabby chic white bulldog clip. You can see I have used that on there, clip that on, and then I added a little bit of a diamante charm as well. So that I use that and I clip it on here. So that's that. So I use this fabric as a little fabric page. It's that one there. Just give it a little bit of softness to the touch. This is lovely. And so here is another vintage lady vellum vintage lady on that page. And then here is more of these lovely trim. And it's an image of a bird cage on a stand. And there is a vintage stamp there. And there's boutique. More, and there you go. Here is the more of that crochet trim. And this lovely stamp there is that shine, and it's gifted to me by Gail. Thank you, Gail. I do use it and I love it. Little vintage typewriter with a bit of snippets there at the bottom. And there's an old vintage pocket watch, and this is how I use that trim again. You can see I use it as a tab there. So that's lovely. I like that. Got a stamp. And the second signature, it's got 3 signatures. So this second signature, again, the first one is a fabric page of a vintage lady that I stamped. I just love that. So that goes there. So again here, I use this lovely trim as the edge. And then I got the stamp, a key stamp, and then some words there. And then I hang a lovely vintage key there as a dangle. And another perfume bottle, and then another vintage lady. This handmade paper, they have fluff on there, so I better not pull that. Look at this little vintage lady having a sip of a lemonade. The stamp. Music paper, and there is more of that trim. I use it on the edge, and I love how they overhang at the bottom. There's more perfume bottle there. And there's this flower trim that I just cut a couple off and use it as a little dangle at the bottom. And a little die-cut flower there. Look at this lovely handmade paper. There's some trim there at the edge. And then I use this lovely lace again, this the stretchy one, as another pocket here. Just lovely. And then I've got a piece of ephemera that goes in there. And another little envelope that I made. And it's just got tiny little book in there. And it's got a little feather, what you call this? I can't think now, with the inkwell and the feather pen. So that goes in there with the little book. So that's a little ephemera, and these are all offcuts, scraps of appliques and a little bit scrap of edges that come off somewhere from some trim. And look, more handmade paper. It's got some gold thread sewn through it, and then more crochet trim on the edge. Just love the feel of this embossed handmade paper. A little bit of scraps again from the applique, and there's another beautiful vintage lady. She is gorgeous. So this is glassing paper. I just spray with some ink. No, I lied. This was actually avocado dye, beg your pardon. So I just cut it into squarish piece of paper, and then I just fold it after I've sewn in the signature, and I just fold it, and there is my middle page. A bit of scraps again, just on there. And then it's another vintage lady. More trim there. And this one is another lovely gathered like Nottingham lace that I've also got from the kit that you haven't seen yet. And this is this one here. So I just cut a bit and use it as a page. So again, it gives it the softness. And that is that, and then I've got a vellum flower over there. It just looks very vintage, doesn't it? And there you go. I see. This is another one of my favorite. I use it as a little pocket. So don't see it as just say a trim or whatnot. If you can make it work as something like here, I use it as a little pocket. How cute is that? So I've found some little vintage ephemera. It goes in there. So there's a page, and then I use this lovely trim again. And this is, look at this stem. And this is also from the kit. It's a long piece of trim. I just cut a little bit off and use it as a dangle on its own. And there is another. There is the ones that I use to make the pocket, but I use this on the edge, overhang on the edge. I just love the look. So this is the last signature. It's another stamped vintage lady. More stamp pages. Using, you can see, using this lovely trim again. I go, oh, look at this. She's all snuggled up in her warm furry coat. I love that. Love that. So here is one of my one of the applique bundles that I've got last month kit, and I found this, and it's just perfect as a pocket. So, and then I got a piece of this lace heart. I use it as a little tag. So what I've done, you can see I used this trim here, snipped off the two flowers aside, and that's why I said it looks like a pair of wings, doesn't it? And then I cut this a little bit of these trims and use them as a little dangle. So that is my little tag for this pocket. There we go. So there we go. So those appliques are perfect for corners and pockets. I love it. Well, this is another script stamp, some piano paper. That is the stem of my little cloth with a bouquet of flowers. And there we go. Here's more of that I use. And I hang a little dangle on there. And look at these beautiful vellum flowers. And there you go. I use this flower trim again for the edge on the page. And there's another one where you just open and fold it. More of that trim I use, and then these are all offcuts of my applique. I just put on the side here, and it just gives it something, doesn't it? A little keyhole stamp with a little key there. And there is another flower applique that we got from a last month kit. Again, I use it as a little tuck spot with my little envelope there. I just add a little bow, a bit of stamping, and then some little bits of ephemera. I just thought they're so cute. And I forgot to say, all these little cute little ideas are actually from Sierra. She's also on the design team. She does the most amazing little miniature things. So this is the image of the boots. I use some of that trim. And there's this lovely vintage lady. She's holding a bowl of bubbles. Oh, I love that. More trim there, another vintage lady. Stamp the bottle there. And here's the back. So on the back you can see I've got that fabric, and then I got this flower trim there, and then I use this trim. Instead of having it up, I use this trim downwards, but with this effect it looks like it's a full piece there, doesn't it? And then with this lovely lace, elastic lace, I use that as a belly band for this tag. So this is a tag that's I got in my stash, and it said "For I'm From," and I just added this trim over the loop and added a pink bow there. And on the edge there, you can see I use more of this gorgeous applique, lattice trim. And at the bottom, you can see I use this one a lot. It's just so many uses. It's that one there. So previously I had it on top, now I have it at the bottom as a little dangle. Here at the back is one of my own, from my own stash. It's one of these, a Champagne Go applique thing. I just put it at the back. So that is how it is. So that's my little book. I hope hope you like it. I know it's a bit simple, but it takes just as long, and I just love how cute it is. So that is my little book project of vintage ladies. So I make the pouch out of some fabrics that I've got. I believe they could be beddings. I cut 2 pieces of square, like for 10 inch by 10 inch, put them together, sew the edge, left a gap and turn it inside out, and I iron it so the edges all flat. Okay, so it's all flat. So, and then I fold into an envelope shape, and then I started to sew it all together. Okay, so I sew the 2 edge together to form this envelope or pouch, and then I started to use, okay, the flap first of all is, no, the whole thing, let me start again. So the back I have lined it with this fabric over the fabric that I cut out, and then I started to there we go. I use this stretchy trim at the bottom. After I have used this on the edge, you can see the dangly at the bottom there, you can see a bit, and then I use this over. And then here is another layer, which is, again, this is also from the shop. It's another lovely lace. It's quite wide. So I have 1, 2, 3 layers on there. And this is a bit of leftover from the rose dangles lace. I absolutely love that lace. I don't know if there's any left, but I got this from my last kit. So this pouch is mostly from what I got left over from the previous kits, and not wanting to waste anything. So I just kind of snip it, put it all together. Again, these ideas is, you know, from the lovely Sierra, the lovely talented Sierra. She makes beautiful little pouches, and I always admire them and wanted to do it. So, and there is another piece of the applique. I just glue this on. So this is, in the end, I decided to glue rather than stitch it all, which with the 3-in-1. So that is that. And at the edge there, again, I've used this lovely netty lattice trim. Isn't that beautiful? And then I've got a little piece of that trim again from the last project, and this one is the one I show you from the edge of my book, the little book. I cut off the rose, so I got 2 at the end. Then a little more of this rose trim. And this is the applique from my stash. It goes with that. So I thought I'd put it in so it's a matching set. So that's how I do the back and the flap. Okay, and then here, where do I start? Okay, in here I stamp this image, Vintage Market. And that was gifted to me by dear Kathleen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just love it. So I didn't want to put anything over after I stamped that. It just looked good. And this applique is from my stash. I just stick a piece there. So in the edge here is some lace. Again, it's from the shop. It's all my leftovers. And that is more of that trim that I use as a little tuck spot. And more offcuts there. And then this is actually also the trim that I use from the edge of the book. I just snip things off and add it on there. And this is also, I love, this is also from KS4U that I snipped and then I need so much use out of it. So I sewed this bit on, I sewn all the edges, but the inside on the front is all glue. And this is, isn't that beautiful? So that is from last month's kit. And a little bit of snippet of flowers, that's from there. And this piece here is the one I'm telling you about, this rose trim, lace. And this is a bit of it. So I managed to have a little bit left and I glue it on there. And this is actually the piece. And you can see the dangles. I love, love, love this. And at the end, I added these flowers from my stash, which I just glue through the hole. I just loved it, the looks of it. A little bit of it's a few layers of collage here. So another piece of applique, and then there's some. Oh, and these flowers here is actually coming down as well. So it's quite a big piece. And this is, I've got that, this also, there's a piece also in the book, so I'll put one there. And then I got this stamp, I just received it. I ordered this online and it came, so I stamp it and then I sewn on with a couple of vintage mother of pearl buttons. So here at the tip, this is some applique flowers I got somewhere in my stash. I sewn on this sari rope here, and at the end is this tiny little heart that I made. And the idea again is from Sierra. I just saw her made it and I knew I had to make it. So these are all snippets of all the lace and trims I got from the kit. So from this kit and last kits, okay, so it's all mix and match. So I added there, so that is at the end of my closure. And here I thought I'll add something there, since it's got a little, you know, like a little tuck spot there. I just added this tag that I punch out and I collage with a little bit of that lace. And then flower there, die cut, and then a little bit of the flower again is from this trim. And then I die cut it on vellum and I just stamp this V there. So that's how I did that. And then there's a little butterfly eyelet. Don't know where I got it from. I love it. So I tied this beautiful, beautiful rose over there, so it's like a little, there we go, like a little tap. So that is my November kit. And so I beg your pardon, my first November project. And I hope you like it, and we'll go and get some bargains from KS4U. At the moment, there is 50% off all blings and beads and charms. It runs until the 14th of November while stock lasts, so go and check out and grab them, because 50% off is massive. So Julie is trying to do a theme every fortnight, you know, so that's why this fortnight is blings and beads and charms. So keep an eye out for what's coming next. So anyway, so this is my project. I hope you like it, and I will be back again soon for my second project. So take care, everybody, and thank you for popping in, and bye for now. Bye bye.